Thank you so much, Tanay. And firstly, thank you so much for inviting me. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm glad I logged in early. I'm glad I got to listen to all the wonderful speakers in the previous panel. I must tell you, it felt familiar. I'm a very proud fellow of the ICS. I really love the work they do. Also, after the COVID lockdown, I got an opportunity to volunteer with UNCITRAL on their working group 4 for electronic PLs. So it was so beautiful to see the kind of work they do and their opinions on how they're taking things forward. Thank you. Don't worry, I have a very brief presentation. I know you've saved me for the last, starting now. I hope you can see me.
Yes, now it is starting. Yes, everything great.
Perfect. So let me tell you a little bit about Diaboss and what we do. We're a small niche cost optimization company. It's nice to be clubbed with the agents. I've been an agent for over 20 years before I moved over to technology for shipping. It's a very, very familiar part of shipping to me. And I genuinely think that that's where you learn the most because you actually get to see what every stakeholder in the ecosystem wants out of you. So at Daybus, what we believe is that we have to see change as an opportunity. And this statement was not made after COVID. This has been our vision before that. So let me tell you a little bit about who we are. Before me, we had my colleague Sushil, and also from the same group. We are from the JM Bakshi group. But Darebos is headquartered in the Middle East, in UAE, in Dubai. And we have a vision to provide all aspects of cost optimization to vessel owners, operators, charterers, and brokers. We offer, I'll tell you in the next slide about our service suite. Our credentials are always matched against the best in the world. We make sure that we're certified and we make sure that we're compliant with all the latest legislation in terms of anti-corruption and compliance. We have about 120 people now on Diabos roles. We handle more than 4,000 port calls every month. We operate, as mentioned, out of Dubai, Mumbai, and a city called Pune in India. We've been partners of Navigator for over a decade as well, and really happy to continue that for the next decade to come, Denai. This is our service suite. If you take a look, what we offer is the complete DA processing end to end for our clients. We have a platform called Port DA, which has anonymized costs. So if our clients are operating in a new side of the world, they can go in there for their voyage costing and get an idea about what cost looks like in that area before they even get into fixtures. We also provide cash management services, and this one came in the highlight over the COVID period because there were several new FCA compliance regulations, as some of you might know. And that threw a spanner in the works for the way people managed cash and payments around the world. And obviously, then hurt the agent, hurt the vessel, and hurt the principal alike. So the cash management services we provide, we are able to, along with our fintech partners, provide global services in over 35 currencies, from major to minor to exotics. And we're able to provide a very, very cost-effective way of delivering those cash management services. We also do vendor management. So for those operators who have direct contracts with their vendors and who then don't go through their agents, they often come to us and request us to handle the processing aspect of the vendor bill with the same cost vision that we take to disbursement accounting. We do post fixture activities. I noticed some of the other esteemed panelists talking about their participation either in broking or in fixing vessels. We offer post fixture services to laytime calculations, laytime reconciliation, charter party writing, and charter party reconciliation. Our services have been offered from the year 2008 onwards, and we have a team of very, very dedicated, specialized people doing these calculations here in India. Most people on our team are either with a decade plus of experience in what they do or with as much experience at sea. What we have added very recently is digitization projects to our service suite. So digitization, as most people today spoke, Danae, is here to stay, whether we like it or not. And coming from the mother group of companies that we belong to, we have a in-depth understanding and experience of what digitization can do for the industry. So as Boss, what we're going to start with this year onwards is offering our knowledge on how to digitize to organizations in this sector who are looking to change their style of working, whether it be in the agency side, whether the ship owner side, operator side, charterer side, uh, either way. So we could engage on a consultancy or we could actually get out there and develop something for a client. These are some of our satisfied clients. We're still a small company, but we're a people company. And I noticed, Danae, that most of the members on your panel, we seem to share similar values. So I can see why an organization like yours has picked a certain set of people. I kept hearing the same keywords, more about people, more about trust, of transparency, and that's very much what we stand for as well. You've asked me to also cover briefly technology, and while it's a topic very, very close to my heart, I've tried to keep it very brief. I think it's important to understand why now and what actually is driving the digital wave. It wasn't really COVID. For about 15 years before COVID, there's been a rising voice trying to convey to the shipping community that it's time to go digital. And the reasons are all very, very sound. So, sustainability is something people talked about throughout, and technology aids sustainability. You talked about the green wave, Hugh, and technology is applied to deliver that. Efficiency or profit is the second one, and technology is critical for us to deliver that sort of efficiency in the next era of shipping. And finally, and the important and interesting one is the ecosystem. So, till now, we've all really been isolated in our own pockets. Nobody really cared too much happened beyond their realm of liability or their realm of profitability. But now the ecosystem is here to stay. So, whether it's the final consumer of the product, or the manufacturer, or the vessel owner, or the port, or the government, or the customs, everybody has now come to demand a certain level of visibility. And that's where technology will come in and deliver on that promise. So we again, an organization and a group of companies that does a lot of extensive work in building these sort of multiple stakeholder ecosystems and platforms, we at Diabos genuinely see the value of this technology. The interesting thing, of course, is that technology on its own does not do its job, and it requires people. So when you also asked me to speak about smart ships and smart ports, I kept it really brief, Danae, because I often hear from particularly the seafaring colleagues in my company about how skeptical they are on how soon all of this is going to come to pass. What I often say to them is what I'd like to share with you as well. It is going to come to pass. How soon one could debate, but it is going to come to pass. But what is never going to change is it's still going to be the people behind a company that will sell a brand. Because one can buy technology, but one cannot build the culture of an organization. And that's going to still, separate the winners from the wannabe winners. And that's the culture of shipping that's going to continue. So at Diabos, this is what we try and do. We have a cloud-based platform which we use for delivering our services. We're moving several leaps in technology. We're moving towards mobile apps and we're moving towards more automation. But we always ensure we tell our clients that we're a people company. We didn't let go a single person through COVID. In fact, we continue to hire. We found that our people could actually communicate better with agents around the world. We work with around 8,500 agents around the world. We handle around 40,000 plus port calls. And In times like this, when the normal rules don't apply, it's important to have a human being who can assess the situation, talk to the person at the other side, and find the right solution for all parties concerned. So I'm going to close here, Danae. Thank you so much again.